she's like, okay, let's go to Moja. Abafana balungile. Yes, abafana balungile.
Hello, stranger. It's been a minute since we last kicked. And by the way, just got in town.
Hi my lovies, I'm back with another story time. Period. You here? Welcome to a new video. If you're new, sorry I was laughing. Welcome to a new video. If you're new here, please don't forget to like, to comment, to subscribe. My name is Sneh. I'm a full-time makeup artist and hairstylist living in Cape Town, and this is my channel where I document my life and I take you guys with me on the journey that is my life. This is my digital diary, and this is my safe place. So welcome if you're watching one of my first videos. I hope that you stay and you watch all the rest of my content, but for now this is a story time. A while ago somebody had asked me for a story time regarding Gwagon Guy. So this is a story time regarding that, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. I love you guys so much, and thank you guys for all your support. Don't forget to leave me a little comment and let me know what you think. Well, not let me know what you think, but you know what I mean. Enjoy, guys. Cheers, lovers. Hi, you guys. So I'm getting ready to go to dinner with my friend, and I went out last week and I hurt my finger. But anyways, more pressing issues. Yes, that's right. Another story time. Boo 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 boo. Purr. Your girl is on her Zoom. I want my shit. Hold on. So I decided to go see. I'm going to be trying out all my new makeup products. More specifically, this baby over here. If you watched my previous vlog, you would have seen us unboxing all these goody products. And if you have not watched my previous vlog, you better pause this video, go and watch that vlog, and then come back. So yeah, I just want to try this out. I feel like it's really nice, and it's my vibe. So I'm gonna put in my kit, but I want to try it out as well. And then I'm also going to try out this Fenty corrector, but I'm going to use it as a blush. And yeah, guys, so I'm going to use this, it's called essence. I'm going to use this essence as a primer to like grip my skin really well. All the other products, yeah, but yeah, so that is what we're doing today. I don't know if I should clean up my lace. Guys, like, as forgive me. Let me not clean it. I'm lazy. So anyways, yeah, so I was like, okay, let me do another story time for you guys, because your girl has she's been through a lot. So anyways, there was somebody who had asked me in the comments. They were like, what happened to Gwagon Guy? And this person is very interested in the story actually, because it's not the first, or maybe it's different people, I don't know, but it's not the first time I'm getting this question. And this Gwagon showed up in a vlog such a long time ago, so I'm always confused. We'll see. But anyways, yeah. So okay, what actually happened? Fine. Still in my single era. We listen, we don't. Okay. So okay, right. I'm trying to think back. How did the whole situation start? No, bro. Okay, fine. So actually, bro, I met him in 2020. Yes, 2020. I was just coming to terms with my breakup, the breakup that I told you guys, the acrimony breakup. If you haven't watched that, go and watch that. I was just healing acrimony breakup. I was even off social media. I was just like, oh my god, I want nothing to do with anything. I'm actually gonna start with my hair first. I just want to curl a little bit to give it some body. Hi, right. Okay, it's going to change some Kayla really quick. So if your wig is layered, you take the piece that's the shortest. You take your shortest piece like this, and then always curl inwards. So here's your curler. Hold. Always bring it to the bottom of the barrel so that you give the rest of the hair enough space to go up the barrel. So, sorry, now I messed it up. Down, bottom of the barrel, and then twist inwards, right? This is to create that curtain bang effect that you want when you are brushing out your curls. I usually hold for 10 seconds, and that's when I feel like the heat has gone completely through the hair. And then just bring it out a little bit and then unclip the utranch. And then depending on you, okay, what your preference is, you will then use some heat spray to make sure that, not heat spray, that's what I used first. You'll use some holding spray to make sure that your curls last long. For me, I'm not going to do that today because I will just spray them in the end when they're all together and I'm getting up to get dressed. But yeah, so okay, back then, just after COVID times, a friend of mine, there was a girl that I was friends with in Joburg. Every time I do a story time, I think of another story time that has to happen on some of the story time. There's a girl that I was friends with in Joburg very briefly, and she was more like a go out, vibey person. I think I didn't have too many friends in Joburg. I had my close friend. I think in Joburg, my best friend was Makosi, the one that bought me the flowers. And that's who I hung out with the most, especially after my breakup. I think my guy at the time was actually my close friend because I used to work a lot. And I had just hangout friends, I guess. I didn't have like deep friends. All my friends were still in Durban, my community type stuff. So me and this girl, we sort of hit it off in Durban. She was also from Durban. And she's like, hey girl, Jay, let's hang out. So we started getting closer around COVID. Okay, fine. And then after lockdown happens, the restrictions start to cool down, and then she's like, oh, let's go to this place called Moja Cafe. Moja Cafe that time, yes, I saw it, right? So she's like, let's go to this place called Moja Cafe. I'm like, Jay, what's up with that? Okay, cool, fine, It wasn't really my vibe. And back then, I think in Nollywood era, if you know what I mean. I was not like, oh, okay. I didn't think of like, Brubala as like a potential partner. And I mean, this is a person that I dated since I moved to Joburg. So I was like, I die here. Let me tell you guys also something. In the end, it's like once you start dating them, as much as I think is a necessary passage, I do not think that it should be a permanent thing. If you're a person looking for like meaningful relationship, your relationship is sustainable, be together, they are actually not, it's not realistic because their culture and just the way that they live is very much for a good time, not a long time. But that's just my personal opinion. Yeah, let me put my phone on D&D. I don't know why I always get calls when I'm shooting. I just want to make sure this is not a work situation. It's not work. So you see, this is why I shouldn't go on my phone because I get distracted. So yeah, I just feel like, yeah, it's a story for another day. But in retrospect, when I think about it and when I look at it, it's like the only reason I think I went that route is self-esteem issues. I think when they embrace you, we plus size versus our side of guys, they have a certain criteria of how they want you to look. They're very judgmental about weight, and yes, of course there are guys that like fuller figured women, but the guys that you like my type of guy, would typically not date a full figured girl. And so back then I think it was just the safer route to like date any, and like they I won't lie, but yeah, there's a lot of things that you have to understand, and there's a lot of things that you have to be okay with, that I think now that I'm a grown woman, I'm like, actually, like I can't, like I genuinely can't, like like I'm too grown for this mess. But yeah, so yeah, I never entertained being on the Polokwane niggas, the Tsona niggas, that wave of guys. that I never knew about. So there's real niggas that side of the world. So okay, she's like, okay, let's go to Moja. I'm like, hey, Moja, what is that? I've never been there before. I've never heard of it or whatever. My life algorithm is not even set to that place. Hi. How big is the Moja? Like, I speak Moja, we're just girlies, you know, we're a group of girls. We ordered some drinks. We're sitting in like, we had like a little table situation, whatever. Then obviously like guys are coming. I think Mina, I had looked at it as just a night to just have fun because I already knew I'm not gonna see anything. Anything I'm interested in. The things that I'm interested in are at, what was that beach club called? I think it was called Altitude or Latitude. Altitude. They add NJ, you know, deep in Santon. Deep in Santon, Bryanston. They're not on this side of the world. Okay, cool. We're having drinks, whatever. Then these guys obviously Bafanaji. They start hovering around. I wouldn't say they spoke to me. Yeah, nobody spoke to me first. Like they were speaking to my friend, the one that invited me. They're speaking to her. And also, I mean, I'm not very approachable, especially to strangers. I don't smile. Even if like I have a really good feeling, happy, whatever, it doesn't really show on my face, which I've tried to change as time goes. But yeah, it's just who I am, guys. So okay, then finally this one guy comes up to me and he's like, hey, why are you so quiet? Jay, I'm looking at myself here because I need to look at my hair. So he's like, how are you so quiet? Da, da, da. And this guy, like, when you move, I'm like, you know, I need to feel in Australia. Flashy, Jay, Gucci head to toe. Yeah, understand that. That's how you understand somebody's level of like wealth. You're like, okay, he must be dripping a designer or whatever. So I'm like, who is this? You know, like, no, this is not my spec. Right? He talks to me, but I sort of like blow it off. I blow him off, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, look, I was on this clip. And I think he felt also I'm not really interested, and so he just spoke a little bit and he went back to his table. And then next thing my friend is like, oh, these guys are asking us to join their section. I'm like, okay, I mean, sure, I mean, mahala, you know, why not? Or like, I mean, let's be honest, guys, as girls, like, as fun cook, let's be for real, like, nobody wants to pay, and if there's somebody offering to pay, why not? Do you know what I mean? Okay, we go and we join their section. So when we get there, there's girls there in the section, and it's like awkward because it's like, if you guys are going to fetch other girls, shoot, you guys are saying, Guti, we are not doing the things that make the pods to be done. So again, must figure lapana and okay, the laba lapana. Baby dangerous looking, you know, like it was not girls that you can just be like, oh hey girl, they were not approachable. They were very dingy girls. So bro, something level up nyana. So okay, we sit, and my friend, the person that asked me to come out, she sort of like, she knows also I'm just shy and I don't know what to say. So she was basically like, no, just sit here in between my legs. And I sit between her. So I'm like, okay, if anyone has a problem, they'll probably deal with her first. I'm down here, she's up there. Okay, nice is nice, fine. I will, must feel you know? It's an ocean of verve. I'm like, oh, okay. Because when they came to approach us, like when they came to speak to us, they did not look like those type of guys at all. I was like, ugh, you know. But then how am I feeling? Definitely, I'm like, oh, okay. There's drinks, at least. So I forgot what we were drinking at our own table, but it got lost somewhere in the ocean of things. Now we're switching. We're drinking champagne. I understand it because there was so much champagne at that table. Actually, it was very wild. Okay, then we're sitting, and then the same guy that had come to approach me at our table, he comes and he sits next to me, and we're talking. He's like, oh, actually he's from Nelspruit. He doesn't he's originally from Nelspruit. Well, he lives in Joburg, but he's in between two cities. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Okay. Honestly, I was just entertaining to not disappoint the team, you know, we're girls, and so it's like, you guys know girl code. If there's a guy here, you know, there's girl code. And it's like, for example, yeah, but if we're going out as girls and there's a bunch of guys and your one friend really likes a guy, I suppose also guys also have the same code, and your one friend really likes a guy and your one who's okay, she wants to hang out, you'll sort of entertain, like, okay, yeah, talk, laugh, and be approachable to a person just because, you know, you guys are in the section. But we as at the end of this night, you guys will probably never speak again. But it's just like you're just being cordial, you know, to cover the night, whatever. So okay, I felt like I was doing that. Okay, so all the girls are like they're having fun, obviously with drinks, it's nice. You know, it wasn't terrible, and also it was my first night out, like proper night out after my breakup situation and lockdown. You know, like I never expected the night to go that way, and so I was like, I was drinking, I was enjoying myself. And I guess now I want to go, okay, like she's just drinking, she's not uppity or stuck up or whatever. So we had a good chat. I don't remember what we talked about, it was a very long time ago. And then finally we were leaving. They like, oh, let's go to a club in Angsazi. They were like, let's switch location. And I was just like, no, I need to go to bed. I want to go home. I don't remember why I pushed to go home, but I think it was also just a genuine decision amongst all of us. So let's call it a night. Okay. We leave, and me and the guy had exchanged numbers. For the purpose of this video, you know, I always have an alias name. Let's call him Greg. Let's call him Greg. I exchanged numbers with Greg, fine. And then I didn't think anything of it. So I was just like, okay, cool, whatever. I wasn't interested because, I mean, I've already stated why. And then the next day, he calls me, completely different human being than what I met last night. Like last night he was tipsy, he was drunk, he was outspoken, banter, uyahlekisa nje, guy, bro. Hayibo ekseni umuntu ngathi understand manje ukuthi ngathi I'm on a conference call. I'm like, why did this person call me? He's like, hi, you know, can we please meet up for lunch or breakfast or whatever? And I was like, okay, we can meet for like a late lunch. That time I'm like, I'm inexposed a little bit, I would say, because I was like, let's go to Tiger's Milk. In retrospect, like, why would I go to Tiger's Milk for a date? What the hell is wrong with me? But anyways, I was like, yeah, let's go to Tiger's Milk. And then, okay, fine, he comes to pick me up again later. No, I think 2 days passed, and he comes to pick me up. That time I wasn't driving as yet. No, I was driving. But he came to pick me up, and then we go on the date. On the date, the guy is so shy, like completely different person than Jay Lomunte that I met at Moja Cafe. I keep thinking Moja Love, I don't know why. Moja Cafe, completely different human being. But I sort of like that, you know. I was like, okay, this is different. Like I hate, especially like with slightly older men, I hate the pervy confidence. Like I think they mask being unsure in situations where they feel a bit insecure in front of a girl or whatever, and then they use like sexual, you know, connotations and like weird innuendos to try and like break the ice or to try and see, you know, like where you're at in the situation. I hate that. So I like that he was just very shy, and we spoke. He asked me where I'm from, I found out where he was from, and you know, it was just genuinely a nice afternoon. I didn't expect that, you know. I'd expected him to be this, which is why I don't date older guys. I expected him to be like pervy and weird and trying to touch my thigh and all the things that old guys do. Let me tell you, that is exactly why I don't date old guys. One, I don't have daddy issues. My dad loved me to death. And two, I don't find them attractive. And I think I start to make up the smell about them even when they don't have one. Like I start to imagine them smelling. Like I'm like, oh, what is that smell? It's the old people smell. Yeah, you know that old people smell that grannies and grandpas used to have. So imagine and I'm just not physically attracted to them. Shame, unfortunately, I'm not. So, oh, another thing I want to address actually while we're on this, people keep assuming that my boyfriend is younger than me. I would never date a person younger than me. Like, can we stop that? I never said that. So I'm confused how. No. Anyways, I don't want to get into it. It's annoying because I've never said that. He is not younger than me. But yeah, so I can't date guys significantly older than me. I feel like in order for me to, you know, engage with you, more bedding, you need to like, you need to get the wheels moving. And how are you gonna do that if you're old? The money will be the only motivator, but it's not that much of a motivator for me. So again, he was decent. I think at the time I felt like he was an older guy because I've never dated significantly older men in my life. So everyone, when they'd ask me like, oh, how old is he, and I'd tell them and they'd be like, girl, that is not old, you know. Or for us, like when you're looking for stability and you're looking for a partner, I think it's normal to date a guy that's like 9 years older than you or whatever. But I think for me, I've just always dated guys that are closer to my age. Okay, we got on the date. The date was okay. And yeah, that was the end of the night. I go back home. My friend was visiting me at the time, my friend that still lived in Durban. So when I get home, I actually tell her, what's up? Well, the date actually went well. Everyone just khulume. And I tell my friend as well, like, the one that invited us to Groove. What type of, oh, can't be, I went on the dates, no, but actually, he's actually such a decent guy. Hi, okay, what happens after this? We start to chat, we start to speak. No guy, Jay. He's very nice. Turns out, so this guy is literally a groovist. Groovist of notes, groovist last number, which was great for me. Like, it's exactly what I needed at the time. I couldn't do another serious relationship at the time. I just came out of one, even though I thought that I wanted one, because I was just like, I was looking for somebody to replace this person so bad. Like, I wanted somebody to replace him. But actually, I needed somebody who just wanted to have fun, you know, because actually he just made me, it's like I switched off for like the duration of our relationship, because I was just so, you know, gay princess, or like the guy was like winning asshole, like for real. So when we start dating, like we first started off with just like going out to like partying and hanging out together, and then I think for him, he realized, damn, like this girl is also chill. Same thing that I realized. We realized it a bit after each other. I think initially he was thinking like, okay, she's here for money, da da da, of which I am. But I think he was genuinely a nice guy. So we would hang out and we would speak, and you know, like it wasn't awkward and it wasn't forced for both of us. So I think he was also like pleasantly surprised by that okay, we can hold a conversation so well too. We can be good. Yeah, well, we're not awkward, we're not be forced or whatever. So then he wanted to hang out with me all the time. So we used to go out all the time. When I tell you guys all the time, literally every weekend we would be out, and he'd go to Nelspruit like during the week, but like Jay, very present. Well, I remember this one time I had to go to Durban while he was in Polokwane, sorry, not Nelspruit, Polokwane. And I remember him like literally like getting me like a driver to come pick me up, take me to the airport in Durban, getting me a driver to drive me around Durban. When I came back from the airport, he made sure like that I had a car. Jay, you know, like how can you not fall in love with that person? Like honestly, Umuti, that's genuinely like making sure you're okay all the time. So eventually now I don't think I actually did. I started to like form feelings for him, yeah. So now like I'm also like paying more attention to like what he's doing and whatever. Before I was just like, oh, okay, I'm just having fun, I'm going through a breakup. We're going out, and then this one time he flew me and my friends to Cape Town. I was already like, he had already given me a card to use. Like things went fast, like the relationship progressed very fast. So by the time we came to Cape Town for my birthday, I think we were now dating for like 5 months, 6 months, 5 months, 5 months. And we had never done the deed. And so now it's a big elephant in the room, because it's like, okay, he doesn't akazami, like he doesn't try to do it or whatever. He's just usebish about it. And then we come to Cape Town. When we come to Cape Town, I'm like, for sure, imagine, obviously he's gonna, you know, want to do something. Mind you, we'd go to Groove, go back to his place, we would sleep. Like nothing would happen. And so I'm kind of more and more, because actually for me, I know that guys say it's better to just get sex out of the way in the beginning, but for me, like in order for you to really experience me, like if you're really trying to do that anyway, that's also important. If you're really trying to get to know someone, I think it's important to let them first get comfortable around you. Like even women need to loosen up a little bit, and you need to give them that time, you know. Now I'm talking so much. But yeah, I think like I've heard this whole thing, and actually women have said it as well, Uguti. They feel like you should just get it out of the way and whatever. For me, I don't share the same sentiment. I feel like in order for you to really experience me well, you need to allow me to be comfortable first. And if we're not rushing anyway, why do we need to rush this particular process of getting to know each other? I can't find my eyebrow pencil, but so as much as yeah, I enjoyed that he wasn't rushing that process. So then when it was time for us to come here to visit, I was like, okay, for sure, okay, you know, it's gonna happen this time. I but like still a gentleman. Like he booked me and my friends a different house to stay in, while him and his friends stayed at a different house, and we would just meet up to do like activities together. I think he really I think he was even shocked at how much he likes me. Like even when he'd go out with his friends and be like, oh my gosh, like I don't know why I like you this much. And I know when a guy is like, don't side eye me. I'm projecting, but I know when a guy's like being insincere, and he genuinely wasn't, you know. I just think he was also shocked at how much, you know, the whole situation progressed, and I guess we later find out why. Hi, okay, so we come to Cape Town. Cape Town was nice, but yo, for me, Cape Town was like such an eye-opener for me. Like the people that I was with, particularly my friends, not even his, like I think it was like people just couldn't be happy for me in the moment. Like it was so weird. Like every time I spent the whole weekend blowing out fires, when it wasn't blowing out fires between these two people, it was blowing out fires with the other two people. Like I didn't really enjoy that weekend, you know. And I think I got to a boiling point because I was like, these people are so selfish. And to this day, I will never do a traveling trip with anyone because I was actually traumatized by that whole experience. Things ended up getting into huge blowout fights between my cousin and the girl that me and Greg met with, like at Moja. Huge fight broke out with those two, and obviously like it's my cousin and I've brought her to another city. You sort of can't not defend her in the situation. But also I felt like that particular friend, the girl that was my friend, she didn't like the fact that the only reason why I went to Moja was because she pressured me to go, and then I met this person who's now taking us on these trips and whatever. Like every time he'd like mention he's gonna do something for me or buy something for me, she'd be like, no, but he has to buy for both of us because like I'm the person that even introduced him to you. He wouldn't even know you if it wasn't for me. Like she had this weird feeling, Jay, and the whole time in Cape Town I felt like I couldn't even enjoy the trip because I was constantly like trying to manage tensions going on with everyone. Long story short, it ended up in a huge blowout fight, and it became physical, and we were actually at souk when it became physical. No wonder I don't like souk. But actually no, I don't like souk because the waiters are rude. Let me just be honest. What was I saying? Yeah, things got into like a physical fight, even with me. Like I feel like my observation was that she had gotten so annoyed with just how, I guess the weekend was about me because it was my birthday, that she was just like really unhappy about it. And so she like had a wakrisha out in front of everyone, and it was just a mess. I was very embarrassed in front of, you know, Ubru's friends and everything, and it was just a mess. After that crash out fight that got physical between me and her, then he was just like, no. Like we got back and he booked a flight for me and my cousin, and he was just like, we're just leaving. We even left the flights that we had because we were supposed to stay until I think Tuesday. We left on Saturday or Sunday morning, like flight out. He was like, no, you know. And a lot of things had happened prior to this going out occasion that he already was not happy with when it came to this particular friend. Like phones went missing in her presence, and just the general aggression that she had towards me. He had experienced it a couple of times, but I think we would pacify it when we're going out, you know. Like anytime we're out, like it was almost like she doesn't want me to pay attention to him, like if we would invite her out, yet she would insist on coming out. Like if I'm saying, oh, I'm going out with Gregory, she'd be like, can you guys get me an Uber? I want to come. I was okay with it because I wanted her to come out, but his friends like accommodated me. They were always really nice to me, so I didn't really feel awkward when I was by myself. But she would want to join, and I wanted her to join, you know. But then when she'd get there, it was like she wouldn't want to spend any time with him. She just would want us to sit together and talk together and whatever. So I think he also started feeling like maybe she shouldn't come. So, and then also phone went missing and a jacket that was last worn by her. So there was a couple of things that he was already unhappy with pertaining to her. Then when the whole physical fight broke out, he was actually like, this girl, like, there were so many things that she did, and yeah, okay. So anyways, he was like, no, we're leaving. And everyone had already had their flights anyway, so, you know, everything was good. Come back to Joburg, business as usual, no bruhami per. And what happens? We're going out. At this point now, he's given me a car to drive. I was Jay. Like, baby girl. I was baby girl. Oh, baby girl. If I go to the mall, I'm like, oh, I want something. Shame, why any but so shame, shame. I know. Like, when I go to the mall and I want something, you know, I know I'm not taking advantage, but I know that he's gonna, like, you know, do what I'm asking or give me what I'm asking for, which was really nice. And like I had a car and a card. So gangi full on in my baby girl era, you understand? Right. Then I would say a month later, right? A month later, oh, still in Cape Town, nothing. And I was like, I was perplexed at that point because I was like, what the hell? Like, we first stayed in a huge house all together for like the first 3 days before his friends came, because his friends could only come on the weekend. Yes, now my memory is coming back. We stayed in a huge house with my friends and just him for like 4 days. And then when his friends came, he got like a bigger house for them, and then we were staying like 5 minutes away from them. So nothing happened. From CPT till we left CPT, he didn't attempt to do anything. So yeah, then eventually, I mean, yeah. At this point, it's just that the program and he goes home, and we're on the phone all the time. And at the time, we're like planning, when can I come to Nelspruit to visit? And he was like, come whenever, you know. At this point, he had met like my sister. He was so in love with my sister because they had like such similar vibes. They enjoyed a good time. They enjoyed a drink. So they hit it off immediately, and I was like, oh ma, ngiyashada manje. It's our wedding. I boo. Our wedding. Yo, go up here. Like, trying to back show you guys. Sana no bronze, sana no nyupela. Even at some points, I think okay, well, Lamsey didn't meet him, but remember I told you guys Lamsey and I lived in the same building apartment. So at some point, Lamsey would like see him when he's coming to my place and leaving, and you know, like I remember this one time, me and we were like me and Lamsey used to be very close in Joburg. It's actually crazy, like very, very crazy. We were close. We'd spend so much time together, like so much that he even knew about him. Like, so this one time I was like, oh, okay, I want to go with my friends to Harstebees. Yes, Harstebees. And then he came and he dropped off a fucking car for us to go in, and he was kula boxy. I understand that. Oh, I understand an assignment. I also Lamsey was just like, oh ma, whoever this man is, please stick beside him. Lamsey was also in his soft guy era, I swear. Okay, cool. This one slimanyana day, I regret that day with all my life. So we're at a Shisanyama. And my sister had come to join us. Okay, my older sister on Dogos. I'm sure you guys have seen her in my vlogs. She comes to join us, and you know, we're hanging out, we're having drinks, and then I'm like, oh, let me go charge my phone in the car. So I get to the car and I'm plugging my phone, and his other phone, he had two phones. His secondary phone is sitting right here on the handle. Okay, I'm charging a bit. And I'm just on my phone, I'm tipsy, you know, just enjoying. I'm just watching stories. I think I just come back on Instagram. I was off Instagram for like a good 3-4 months at that time. So I'm like, oh, let me see what people are posting. How am I getting jeb before near call? Getting caller ID. The caller, it says a girl's name and his surname. So I'm like, yeah, well, and immediately my alarm bells went off in my head because I know his sister, I know his siblings. We've hung out with them, we've gone out with them, things have been cool. So I'm like, none of his siblings are this name. And I guess because actually it could have been his cousin, it could have been, you know, anything. But I think your intuition tells you, Wuti, no, it's not a cousin, it's not a whatever. This is someone. Guys, I was shattered. I was like, And then the whole night, like, I'm just awkward. I don't know how to confront him because Vel and I, umuntu onesidima, you know, like you're not just gonna go crazy on him in a public place. Like, he's a respectable man, you know. But my ears are ringing, you know. My ears are ringing because I'm like, excuse me, like, I'm preparing to go on an international trip. We were planning to go to Mauritius at that time. Jay, we go together real bad. Like, we go together real. However, my heart sank. Like, my heart physically sank. So I go back and I hang out with everyone else. For the rest of the night, honestly, everything was just a blur. Like, I don't remember much about what happened. I was just like, abafana balungile. Yes, abafana balungile. So basically, the rest of the night was ruined for me. And I think at some point he could see it was okay. Ogeli is just not feeling the night anymore. He cuts the night short. He doesn't even know yet what's the reason. And then we drop off my sister, and then he's like, what's wrong? Like, why are you off? And I'm like, I saw on the phone, it was a calling me funny liar, and the name is da Mrs. Name your surname. Well, let's say his surname is Porter. Okay, Njangas. Let's not use an English surname. Njangas. So, ilo kunjani iti? No, I show gama. Sorry, ite Mrs. Njangas, for example. So I think that's what made me upset, because I was like, there's no way it's as a cousin or whatever. Or your surname at the end. Yo, guys, I felt so sick. I wanted to throw up. So then he's shocked because he's like, oh my God, he didn't expect to see that's what I'm upset about. Like, sometimes I just get over it, like, you know, at night, and I'd become quiet. So I think he assumed to joke, because, oh, I'm just tired. So I'm just like, oh. And then the most fucked up part is that he doesn't even deny it. He's just quiet. So then now it's like, now I'm panicking even more, because I'm like, I think there was like a glimmer of hope because he'll be like, no, babe, you're misunderstanding. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I was hoping for that little vibe, Leo. But the silence, I was like, fuck, it's true. It's true. And then he keeps quiet, doesn't say anything. And I'm like, I drop off at my place, and he's just like, okay, we'll talk tomorrow or whatever. Hey, I just leave him there. I don't even say goodbye. Because like, I'm trying to calculate. I'm trying to figure it out. When, how? Guys, this person, if I call him at 10 p.m., he will pick up the phone. You understand? If I call him at any time of the day, the only time I get on phone is if he's in a meeting. You know, like, okay, I'm at work during the day, whatever. There's no time where he will not pick up the phone or where he will not call me back soon after. It's either he's at Groove or he's at bed. We video called while he's in bed, and my brain is racing because I'm genuinely confused. What the fuck? What the fuck? I'm just like, yo, I'm so traumatized. And like, Jay, being in this relationship has like just made so much sense for me at this point. It grounded me, and Jay was just dating a mature man. I didn't need to be outside. I was just like, oh, I'm just all about my relationship and going out with him and his friends. This was not my personality, okay? This, if I get to be put on my lashes. So, yeah, like, the relationship was now like my life. This is what I'm doing. This is where I'm at. You understand? So I was like, oh my God, like, what does this even mean now? What does it mean? I'm panicking. I'm calling my sister. Like, I'm just shocked, honestly. I was just genuinely shocked. And then he calls me when he gets home. I don't pick up the phone, obviously. Then he messages me, and he's like, you know, like, back and forth messaging. I'm like, how could you, like, and he's like, I just knew, Uti, if I told you that, you would have never been interested. I'm like, so your option was that you lied to me? I think I think men need to be arrested for that. Like, men genuinely need to be able to be charged for lying about their marital status. And he was like, I just knew, Uti, you would not be willing to pursue the relationship. It's something we spoke about on the first date. Uti, you don't date married guys, but I really love you, you know, the works, and I'm really sorry that I lied. I should have told you the truth. Yo, at this point, I'm not really paying attention to anything he's saying. I'm just like, I'm trying to make the calculations, and I'm trying to figure out how, when, why. Like, I'm trying to really see like, how can she not see this person is dating? I'm confused. I'm genuinely confused. So yeah, so that was just the end of the conversation, and I think that's when the relationship really started to rift, you know, like. So after this, I think I was still emotionally tied to him. Like I was like, I think the trauma of it all, I hadn't yet accepted. Wow, okay. So after this now, he went to Polokwane, and now agasafone. You know, he's not doing the whole calling regardless of the situation. He is now trying to call me once in a while, because also nami ngiyambandela, you know, like I'm not talking to him like I would, all sweet and nice, and oh, I forgot to prime my face, all sweet and nice. So I think normal behavior of men is when you're not getting the validation from someone else, you're just gonna go and get it from someone else. So even that was traumatizing me. I'm like, this person just did this hectic thing like this and he doesn't even care. Like I got at Tracy the next day, he literally just forgot about it. The next day I was almost like I was required to just forget about it. And then yeah, now this time he went to Nelspruit, and the conversations were just cut short. They, you know, it was only during the day. I guess ubeselungisa into zakhe nomuntu wakhe, because ubesebona ukuthi yolo girl, because nami I was not really talking to him how I would usually talk to him, and I wasn't even giving him the time of day anymore like I used to. Like I was like, fuck, I was upset, you know, and I was like, damn, why would God make me meet this type of person? Out of everyone that God could possibly put into my life, why would this be, you know, the person? So I was very like annoyed, and also with him, because I'm like, even if there's been multiple chances for you to tell me the truth and you haven't, and you know, we'd just be arguing and arguing, and you know, men, like at some point they get over begging. Let's just be 100% with it. They get over begging, and so if you're not going to forgive them in the time space that they allowing you to forgive them, he's going to move on from it. That is the messed up part. And he did, you know, he was done being sorry, and you could tell it was like, he's like, yo Gail, I'm not going to keep apologizing for one thing. Like, are we moving on or not? Yeah, I think because I was just emotionally still traumatized. I was not ready to be like, no, okay, we're done. So I'd still speak to him, but anytime he was in Joburg and was trying to hang out, I would always make excuses and be like, no, I can't, and blah, blah, blah. Also, to be honest, like he was still helping me out financially, and I didn't want to lose that financial backing. So I was like, if I could, and if my work was making me enough money, for example, what my work makes me now, I definitely would have never entertained him for that long. So, you know, now you're okay, like this girl, she's not really speaking to me. And then that's when I also decided to move to Cape Town. I was like, okay, let me actually just go try out another city. At this point, me and him, like, we're keeping it cute, to for lack of a better phrase. We're just keeping it cute. Like, we don't really speak, but we know we don't not speak. Like, men also lack accountability. So he's like, well, if you're angry at me, then that's fine. And now I'm like, well, if you're not going to keep apologizing, then that's fine. so we sort of just, things just drifted apart slowly but surely. And so I was also like, actually, really, why would I be staying in Joburg for a married man? Like, let me move on with my life. So that's when I came to Cape Town. Initially when I came to Cape Town, I was supposed to just be teaching classes for a couple of weeks, and then I was going to move back to Durban. You know? So I was still like, I was going through a lot. Like I was processing with how am I, like, so, you know, like I genuinely was questioning, was okay, God saw the situation that I just came out of via my relationship. Why would he wrap a person in all the things that I want, in all the things that I need, and make this person just the perfect person for me, only for him to not be able to marry me? You know, like at that time I was so serious about marriage. Like that's all I wanted. I think I was just so done with being outside and dating. Like dating had just done me so dirty. So I was just so resentful also. Good to how, like, dude, what the hell? Like, you just saw I almost died from this relationship I just came out of. Why would you make me meet this person like this, you know? And yeah, so I think coming to Cape Town or like really helped me to be like, hey, dude, like, yeah, you don't understand the reason, but at the end of the day, he's married, you know? So I keep like just cut it off. But once I was here, I realized it was actually I can move here, but I never told him. Like, I never told him what I'm moving. I sort of just used it as a way to still, you know, get like backing and support. So I was just like, no, I just came to teach my classes, and he would still like send me money and like help me out. I think at some point he realized it was, this bitch is not coming back. I remember I went to Joburg this one time and I moved my furniture. I didn't even tell him that I'm in Joburg. and I moved my furniture via the truck, and that was it for me in Joburg. Like, I just left, and I had no ties or anything that was making me feel like, oh my God, I'm leaving my home. Like, I was so ready to leave. Like, I was so ready to leave. I think eventually, wabona ukuthi, okay, this girl actually, she is not coming back, and in fact, I'm never ever gonna see her again, you know? So eventually we completely cut contact, and I was okay with this, because I was honestly like, hey, well, like, he sort of like had this thing of wanting to confront me about the way that I left Joburg, and that like we never even discussed it, and and I was like, but you married, like, why would I be discussing my future with somebody who shadile? And you know, typical all men, I was gonna take you as my second wife. Nini, Nini, Nini. Like, Nini. So when I moved here, yeah, I just moved on with life, I guess. I was just like, yeah, I really jumped into the pool. Like, I jumped into the deep end, sorry, and we were just completely done. A year passed. It wasn't even last year. I think it was the year before when you guys saw that Gwagon. In 2023, I went back to Joburg. I was still frequenting Joburg a lot for work. So I went back there to shoot. Was I shooting Forbes? I forgot what I was doing when the Gwagon situation happened. But my sister was there. It was still the World Cup. So whenever the World Cup was, that's when I was there. And he was like, oh, he saw that I'm in Joburg. And he was like, oh, can we like meet up and speak? I feel like everything just ended so abruptly. And honestly, at that point, I was no longer tied to him emotionally. Hanging out with him was purely just a let's have some drinks, child type situation. It was never like a, oh my God, with the potential of us getting back together. You're married. For me, you're ready. I was cool food. Like the time that time when I was in that car was around that time, and that was really it. That was the last time we hung out. And I think after that time, he also realized, you know, when you hang out with somebody after a time when you guys were like in love with each other, and then man just didn't hang out as just platonic people, I think he also saw was, oh wow, like I'm really not there anymore. And yeah, so after that time I think he just gave up on it. But I was so resentful for like a bit longer, but it helped me get over my first breakup, acrimony breakup. But I was also like, yo, like, why would God do that? Maybe he did it so that I can get a chance to come to terms with acrimony, and then I can, you know, move on with my life. Maybe if I was still in love with acrimony, I would have never thought to leave Joburg, would have never done anything, be proactive about my life. So sometimes I reason it like that. So yeah, he begged very little while, I might add, a very little while. And I think afterwards I just realized, see, this is something that you'll have to basically understand for the rest of your life, and are you willing to do that? And my answer was no. So yeah, I think I should add a bit of like shimala on my lid. No? Let me do that with this. And my answer was no. So yeah, that's when I decided it was okay, let's hang it up flat screen, baby. And that was the story with him. So sometimes I still see him around Joburg. When I went in Jan for Dad's birthday, we ran into him at Paul, and he was with some small ass dingy girl, and I was like, oh my God, Dad, this is like who this guy's become. Like such a respectable man, and he's out at Paul with like a girl in her club outfit. I'm sure when he saw us walk into the, oh yeah, that looks nice. When he saw us walk into the restaurant, he wanted to die, because clearly he was sitting there for a while, and unfortunately I didn't see his car was parked right here. I don't know number plates. I don't even know my own number plate right now. So I think he probably sat for a long time hoping we would eat and leave. And then when he saw us, we're not going anywhere, he was forced to have to just walk out with her. And when they walked out, he didn't even look back. And my sister was like, hey, bo, no, Greg. And I was like, we both looked at him and we just laughed. We both just laughed because we couldn't believe it. So we would say, oh my God, like, I'm sure he did not want us to see him in that light, and especially see it was okay. It's just taking vulnerable girls from the club and going out with them, or very low vibrational activity. And yeah, then after that, we saw him again. We were at Temple that night. We went to Temple, and he was like trying to talk to my sister, trying to be like, hey, what's going on? And my sister was like, dude, like, no. And yeah, that was the story with that guy. I must stop lying about being married and feeling like bazontshela later on in life. And girls, nani ngicela ukuphi advice, don't date a guy that's married. You'll understand impilo yakho yonke, like yonke. I know girls that are dating guys that are married and that have been dating them long term. It's a thankless job. Like, yes, you don't have the, if you're a person veiling on the committee and you just want to be like having your fun but still having your relationship, I get it. But also it's a very empty way to live, because you'll always throw it in your face because he has a family. You'll always know that he has a family. As soon as you guys fight, as soon as there's any type of situation between you guys, you'll know. You know, and also I just don't like dating married guys because I don't know what's going on in that situation there at their house, or you know. So all those things that are like questions that I have in my head are good enough for me to be like, no. And also, as much as single guys are a headache, at least you know that he's yours and he's only dating you and it's only you guys, you know, like, versus you are wise phone at certain times, you are phone at certain times, and 1 second he's blowing up your phone, the next minute he's quiet for 3 days. Like, that's not a real way to live. And when you experience like a really good relationship where you have like an accountable partner and somebody that you can call all the time, somebody that belongs to you, you will understand why dating married men is just so pointless and so whack and just so like, why? Yeah, that's what happened. For those who were wondering, I hope the story time was short. And also I'm finished doing my makeup now, which is perfect. I'm using this corrector for my blush now. But yeah, and you'll even see it, it's even how common it is. It's even in memes at this point. Why am I looking so dark? Was it because my eyes have been closed? I feel like I look very dark. They even use it in memes, like when you reject a married guy, and then the type of memes he uploads and the type of videos he uploads, they are not good people. Like, so why even bother with them? Rather, I don't know, maybe my logic is crazy, but I'd rather be played by a single guy than to be played by a married guy. Do you know what I mean? And mind you, another thing that I've noticed is that like, my expectations are high, even them. As a married guy, you have no business asking somebody who will see if they're single or not. Yet they will be the main ones asking girls who are in a relationship, because they actually feel like you shouldn't be dating. While you're like, he's hoshing his penis well, but he expects you to be single. Is that not delusion? Tell me if I'm crazy. Is that not motherfucking delusion? Anyways, guys, as I say something about that guy, this is the end of this video. No, I don't like when my lips look like this. I think I should elongate the smoke. Yes, that's more like it. But yeah, guys, that is the end of this story time. This is my finished look. I'm going to get dressed now because I'm ready. Getting ready and yapping is actually such a cheat code, because you technically get ready so much more quicker when you're like talking to people. Don't you feel? Oh. Yeah, my stomach. This is my complete look, you guys. And thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. I hope I'm not too... The shadows on my face. I really need to start putting up my lights and stop being lazy, but I hope you guys can see me clearly. This is my book. I love it, personally. It's my 15K balloons. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys on the next video.
That's not spilling.